Sup witches, this is me, Nika from Nine the Hermit, and we are continuing the hashtag connecting with the tarot, and we are talking about our last card from the Wands suit, our last minor. We didn't do the court cards, and I'm very happy that we're getting finally done, and especially with this card, the 10 of Wands, which was such an annoying card to work with this week. It felt like for me I had a lot of things going on, and this week was a lot of work, a lot of hard work, and like it was just like struggle, and I'm glad it's done. I'm glad that we will be starting our suit of swords next week. Yay! It's not a very positive suit, but as soon as we'll get through it, I think the pentacles will be quite easy for us, and then it's gonna be great. I'm actually excited. I just got the Moonchild Tarot, which is on pre-order from the Canadian creator Daniel Noel, but I got it from the Boston Tea Room, which is a store I think in Michigan, and I know who the owner is. She was the presenter at a conference at the Northwest Tarot Symposium, and she did a course about past life, like a presentation about past life. It was super cool, but I'm actually so annoyed now because I ordered the Moonchild Tarot from her, and I ordered because it was on pre-order from the creator of the deck, so I didn't want to wait. I ordered right away from somebody else from the States instead of ordering it from Canada, which was, I should have waited till July. And I also ordered this beautiful crystal grid from them, but it came out with, on top of the shipping with the US, and the Canadian dollar is lower than the US, I had to pay $57 extra for some stupid custom fees and some other UPS fee. So at the end I was so pissed. Usually it doesn't happen to me when I order stuff from the US, but this time I should have waited and ordered it from the creator, which was 65 Canadian dollars, much cheaper than 75 US, and the rate for the US and the Canadian, the US dollar is much more. So basically it cost me like 1/3 of the package just to pay for the customs fee. So if you order from the US, keep that in mind, that might happen, and maybe you should contact the store owner at the beginning to know if that will happen to you or not. Now, part of the struggles of this week and the 10 of Wands, part of some annoying things that will happen. But I got my deck, and the deck is great, and I got the crystal grid, which looks very nice. It's quality and it's quite big. So I ordered from Cave and Canyon previously, and what I received was this. So a tiny grid, which I like. You don't want a tiny grid. Who the hell works with a tiny little grid? You want like a bigger grid, right? Okay, so now that I did my venting to you guys, we can finally talk about the card. Let's see. So our guy carrying his 10 wands, placed in quite a hard position. Seems like it would be so much easier if he would stock them all together and place it like that, but he's struggling. He's carrying it, and he's walking towards the house, which is probably his home. So he's finally achieving his goal with a lot of struggle, right? Let's look at some of the keywords from the tarot coloring book. This book by Theresa. Hard labor, oppression, taking on the weight of the world. The goal is at hand, victories in sight, but there's still a little more work to be done. And let's look at our book of symbols, the ultimate guide to the Rider-Waite Tarot. Let's look at the 10 of Wands. This is our 10 of Wands. And the summary of the card. A burdened down figure, a warning against making life unnecessarily difficult for oneself. In a positive sense, the picture shows a dedication and success, a person who takes on his tasks wholeheartedly, literally pursuing his own inclinations, getting things done and reaching goals which are larger than himself. The basic meaning, the maximum number of wands, the greatest effort, a total effort of will for the good as well as for the bad. Either completely on the wrong track, abdication of one's own will, wasting energy, or acceptance of all available vital energies. Each and every impulse and aim, the optimal investment of energy, success, taking one's life into one's hand and striding forward. So the position that he's kind of leaning forward, he's overburdened, he's overstrained, falling forward, giving of one's all. The house in the background. The house stands for security, protection, home, wealth, privacy, and identity, a place of one's own. On the one hand, the house is the goal of the efforts that are bringing you closer and closer to it. And on the other hand, where we invest all our energies is where our garden grows. The bundled wands. The 10 wands represents a packet of energy, and the person who carries and transports them must also be full of energy. This has to do with 100% effort. The wood in front of him. One gets down to the job at hand. Concentrate on what's to be done. The drive, the staff wand, and the intellect, the head, grow together. His red tunic, I kind of thought it was orange, to be honest. The same color as the horse in the Knight of Wands. And they say it's the color of a fox. The inclined position of the figure, difficulties in letting go instead of letting go of the difficulties, a better way to go forward, striding along, getting ahead. And if we go to the 78 Degrees of Wisdom by Rachel Pollack for this card, let's take a look at it. Oh, I just love this book. I love it because she's right on point. Because they are so involved in movement and action, the wands invite problems. Constantly in conflict, they also attract enemies and difficulties. This comes partially from the lack of purpose and plan, but also from one's secret enjoyment of any contest. So in the 10, we have a person who's burdened by responsibility. His wand's eagerness has involved him in so many situations that now paradoxically that very energy is weighted down with commitments and problems. He wants to be free to travel, to seek adventure and new involvements, but instead he finds himself like this suburban career man caught in a net of endless responsibilities. Oh yeah. So there's so many things and you took on so many things and now you're like, The fire energy acts without thinking, takes on new problems simply for the challenge. And sometimes that might not work well with you. In emotional situations, the card shows us a person who takes on himself or herself all the weight of the relationship. So the person has taken the burdens on her or himself. And now let's look at some of the reverse meanings from the 78 Degrees of Wisdom. Like many cards, especially when reversed, more than one meaning is possible. In a reading, we can determine the best meaning when we look at the other cards around. The 10 of Wands reversed indicates that the burdens have increased in weight and the number to the point where the person may collapse from them. At the same time, it could mean that the person has thrown off the burdens. So, two meanings, and I often see this card as you relieve the burdens and you're like, okay, whatever. You throw it on the floor and you just go. So I often see it that way, but it could be one other meaning of this card is it could mean that you're completely crushed by the burdens and you cannot walk anymore. Okay, so two main meanings, and the tarot coloring book Theresa Reed confirms this in the reversed meanings of this card. She actually says pretty much the same thing as Rachel Pollack. So finally done with the Wands energy. What a passionate, beautiful energy. And now we can focus and concentrate with our sharp swords coming ahead with the Ace of Swords, and we're gonna do it for next week. Are we still gonna be in June? Yes, 21 plus 7. So the 28th of June, we're gonna be discussing the Ace of Swords. Please join, and if you like this video, put a like. And if you want to learn more about tarot, subscribe. Thank you.